Louisville, home of the best scrapper, also home of the best rapper. Flow dapper, here's another chapter. Ride through, attack you, ride away your laughter. This is what I'm after, blowing on that rapper. Purple Patrol, keep a bunch to blow. I don't serve it though, murder flow. If it goes down, I'm the first to know.
Universally recognized as pound for pound the best fighter in the world, Terence Crawford.
Matchmakers think that Manny is too much for him. One thing about Terence is that he is vulnerable to a good southpaw puncher. You know, he leaves himself open a little bit. So the question is, Manny, who's a terrific puncher, if he nails Crawford, what happens?
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we back for some more of that Ali Land Daily Boxing Talk, people. And today we talking The Legend Returns. Manny Pacquiao versus Terence Crawford. No ducking, April 2021. Alright, y'all, so today we're going to be breaking down the potential return of the legend, Manny Pacquiao, if he'll be taking on Terence Bud Crawford as his return fight in April of 2021. Who's ducking and who wins? Alright, y'all, so there's a potential fight coming up between Manny Pacquiao and Terence Bud Crawford, man. You know, this fight has been talked about for a few years now, and it's highly anticipated. Fans really want to see this matchup, and I just want to break down whether we'll get it as Manny Pacquiao's return fight in 2021, and why, and who's been ducking who, basically. So to start out, man, I want to touch on the return of the legend. Manny Pacquiao has stated he wants to make his return to boxing in April of 2021, perhaps even the end of March of 2021, after the Senate session is done in the Philippines. And he has a very short list of fighters that he would like to take on. You know, he mentioned a few names in the article that I read. You know, those names were Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence Jr., and Terence Bud Crawford. And, you know, Terence Crawford comes up because we're nearing the end of Manny Pacquiao's illustrious boxing career, man, and I don't see why there's a point for Pacquiao to, you know, take cupcake fights at this point. And some people call them tune-up fights, but they're really fights, you know, you can win just to warm up for a bigger fight. And at this point, you know, Manny Pacquiao is such a legendary fighter. He's fought everybody that you can think of in from flyweight to welterweight, all the way up to super welterweight. So, you know what, to me at this point, I really don't feel like there's a point for him to take a tune-up, but at the same time, I would like to see what Pacquiao has left in the tank before he just hops into the ring and takes on either Spence Jr. or Terence Crawford. But if he didn't decide to take a tune-up and he jumped straight into the ring, I would much rather him take this fight as his first fight instead of the Errol Spence fight. And there are a few reasons I feel that way. You know, I feel like Pacquiao can beat Terence Crawford. I think it's been mentioned, I showed it earlier in the clip of Bob Arum, that they just felt like at the time Pacquiao was too much for Crawford. His speed, his power, his angles, it was just too much for Terence Crawford to overcome. It's been maybe 2-3 years since that clip's come out, and they both were on Top Rank Boxing. But, you know, does it still reign true? Is Pacquiao's speed, his power, and his angles still too much for Terence Bud Crawford to handle? Crawford's getting older, Pacquiao's getting older, so we can't say age is the major factor. It's really going to be how does Pacquiao return to the sport of boxing after defeating Keith Thurman almost 2 years ago. What shape is Terence Crawford in to handle Pacquiao's speed and his angles? We just saw him take on Kell Brook and basically destroy him. And can this fight be made with Top Rank and PBC Boxing co-promoting, this fight, and potentially Manny Pacquiao Promotions being somewhere in there as well. I don't know if this fight can be made as the first fight, simply because I feel like Terence Crawford's going to want to be the A side. He's going to want the bigger cut of the money. But to me, Pacquiao is the A side in that fight, simply because he has the super title, and I think the super title supersedes the title that Terence Crawford actually holds. So I think for that reason, Pacquiao would be the A side. Also, Pacquiao's the more popular of the two fighters. He's been around the longest. He's had the better fights, and he brings the pay-per-view numbers in with him. Terence Crawford doesn't bring the pay-per-view numbers that a Manny Pacquiao name is going to bring to the table. So, to me, I feel like Pacquiao should be the A side for that reason. And I think that's going to be the biggest drawback to this fight actually happening is the promotion, and then Terence Crawford wanting a big cut of the money. Who's ducking who? I'm not gonna say fighters are ducking each other anymore, so I don't believe Terence Crawford's ducking Pacquiao. I don't believe Pacquiao's ducking Crawford. I think it's more of the promotional company. Top Rank doesn't want to risk their only real cash cow now in the welterweight division. They got a few good middleweights and a few good heavyweights, but in the welterweight division and in the lower divisions, they have no more superstars. Well, you got Teofimo. I take that back. You got Teofimo Lopez coming up. So, they got a few stars in the making, but nowhere near the name of a Pacquiao or a Crawford. So, for that reason, I feel like it's not Pacquiao or Crawford ducking each other. It's Bob Arum not willing to risk his only money maker at the moment in the sport of boxing, which is Terence Bud Crawford. So I would say if anybody's ducking, it's Bob Arum's ducking Manny Pacquiao, because he knows Pacquiao has Crawford's number. And I think like I said before, this is the easier of the two fights between Spence and Crawford. So I would rather him take this fight as his return fight, because he can get that belt from Crawford, and then he can move on and go fight Spence and potentially unify those two championships that he will hold, and with the belts that Spence has, and then make his exit from the sport of boxing on the back of, I guess, the Conor McGregor exhibition. So he would have those two fights. He's announced he wanted 2 fights in 2021, so I guess he could fight Crawford, then fight Spence. Hopefully he wins both, and then go have the exhibition with Conor McGregor. Let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section. Is anybody in this situation ducking each other? Who do y'all think is ducking? Should Manny Pacquiao take on Terence Bud Crawford as his return fight, the return of the legend, in April of 2021? And if not, who do y'all think he should be fighting first before he actually takes on Crawford or Spence? Man, let me know down in the comment section. As always, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your dog, your cat, your lizard about Ali Land Boxing Talk and Cardinal Red. Trying to grow the platform as big as I can get it, and with your help we can get there. And believe in yourself, man. Follow your dreams, and your dreams will come true. It's your boy Cardinal Red, and we are out of here.
Louisville, home of the best scrapper, also home of the best rapper. Flow dapper, here's another chapter. Ride through, attack you, ride away your laughter. This is what I'm after, blowing on that rapper. Purple Dro, keep a bunch to blow. I don't serve it though, murder flow. If it goes down, I'm the first to know.